Qualified, professional, and compassionate doctors talking real solutions to real health problems.
Today on the Doctalk show, we are pleased to host a dermatologist from Unity Skin Clinic to tell us about common skin disorders that affect children and adults. Please welcome with me Dr. Semperiza Malik. You're most welcome to the show, Doctor.
Thank you.
And I am your host for the evening, Dr. Darius Owachi. So let's dig into understanding more about these skin problems that are driving people's minds crazy in today's world. So Dr. Malik, you are a doctor of the skin problems, and this is a very sensitive issue to so many people, both men and women. They're always concerned about how they look, what's the color of their skin, do they have this rash, do they have this swelling. So what are these common skin problems you have encountered in your experience?
The most common skin conditions that we face allergic rashes. Basically, if children have itchy skin, we see many patients with acne and pimples. We see patients who have diseases that are very itchy, like psoriasis. We do see patients who have hair loss problems, and patients who have side effects from having used substances on their skin.
Okay.
And it's really quite wide. We even see patients who have diseases of the genitals, we have patients who have diseases of the nails, we have patients who have concerns about maybe the aging, aging faster, and we have, but the majority are always patients, mainly children, people bringing their kids when they have skin problems.
Okay,
and
so
of course, most times you also get the infections as well, skin infections,
too.
viral infections and bacterial skin infections.
So talking about children, what are the common conditions you have observed that affect children?
Well, the most common condition that affects children is eczema, which
Eczema,
is eczema.
okay.
We call it atopic eczema, which is a very itchy and dry skin problem. And the other problem, the infections, viral infections, bacterial infections that also affect children.
So this eczema, which is the itchy skin, what causes it exactly? If someone, how can you describe it to a layman?
Well, eczema is caused by, it's genetic. For starters, there's a genetic component and an environmental component. When you say genetic, it means some people are born when they have that problem. So usually
it's like they have a gene.
They have a gene, yes,
that gives them the eczema.
That gives them the eczema. Ideally, there's a protein in the skin that's supposed to help the skin to close, and the protein is called the filaggrin. So most of them, they have a genetic disorder where that filaggrin is produced in much less quantities. So what happens, the skin is open, which means that they lose water very easily, so it doesn't know how to hold moisture. So the skin dries out very easily. Secondly, when it is open, you have what you call allergens. Basically, anything from outside easily enters and causes the reaction and the itching. Okay. So basically, their immunity is on a very high alert. It's a hypersensitive state whereby the immunity is really overreacting to even the smallest of things that it is exposed to. Yes.
So if it's a genetic, what can we do about it?
Well, usually the good thing is most children outgrow it.
It can be outgrown?
Yes, it can be outgrown. As they grow, the skin becomes stronger. So also, of course, the things it was reactive to, the immunity gets numb. It stops overreacting. So the majority of kids, of children, outgrow it by 5 years, 7 years. Some go through to 13, others to being teenagers, and then the unlucky smaller percentage, it continues to adulthood.
Continues to adulthood.
Yes.
So it's a problem of the immune system.
The immune system being hyperactive.
Hyperactive.
It's just sensitive. Yes.
Okay, so it's the problem. So is the problem the immune system, or it is
the skin? So there are two things: the dryness of the skin, but also the hypersensitivity.
Okay.
Yes, because you may have someone who has just a dry skin, but the skin is not overreacting. The immunity. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if other than genetic, are there other causes, are there other things in the environment which can cause this eczema?
Yes, well, we are seeing so many children with eczema these days. It has become a very big problem. Reason being, we believe it's the environment. Pollution, basically, is causing a very big factor. To the things we're exposing our kids to. From the time they're born, we're exposing them to so many chemicals, so many synthetic substances, from the clothing that they wear, the dyes, the colors in the clothes, the detergents that are being used, the perfumes they're being exposed to. So everything that our children are being exposed to nowadays causes more irritation. So that's how the environment is playing a part. So it's more of a lifestyle issue.
It's a lifestyle issue.
It's a lifestyle issue,
So,
basically. That binds with the what? With the genetic factors, and then it causes a problem. So most commonly, eczema starts when the child is 6 months, or if the mother is going to go back to work earlier, usually they're given like a 3 months leave, maternity leave. So when they start going back to work is when actually the eczema really starts.
Okay, so there's a link to breastfeeding.
There's a link to breastfeeding.
Breast milk helps protect against the eczema.
It does protect against the eczema. It really helps a lot to regulate the immunity.
Oh, so that's an incentive for mothers to breastfeed
Exactly.
more, so that their
Exactly.
children don't suffer these common skin problems like eczema.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just curious, these chemicals you're talking about, which are the major culprits which you have
Well,
identified?
the major culprit is fragrances.
The fragrance,
Anything
the
that has a
perfumes.
perfume is a problem.
Okay,
Yeah,
perfumes,
that is the
deodorants,
major, yes.
or
As long as it's
roll-ons.
perfumed, so if the soap you're bathing with is perfumed, you're washing your child with is perfumed, the detergents you're using are perfumed, which is the most common thing. The soaps and then the lotions that you're applying on the skin. So if all those are perfumed, that's one of the most common chemical type that causes the allergies.
Okay.
Yeah.
So perfumes, whether it's in soaps, lotions, in powder.
Powder. Even if a child is sensitive, if people come to visit the child and they hold the child when they have perfumes on their clothes and body and the child rests, you see the cheeks will turn red. They'll get the rashes on the patches on the cheeks. So, they're really that sensitive.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about antibacterial soaps? There's a common myth. There's a myth that they're more effective than ordinary soap.
Well,
can they prevent eczema?
So when the skin is dry, if they use something that dries out the skin, still they'll get the eczema. So if we use an antibacterial soap, which dries out the skin, definitely that antibacterial soap is going to cause more eczema. So it's going to do more harm than good. On the other hand, most children who have eczema, we found that they have a high load of bacteria on their skin. And actually, that bacteria, the type of bacteria on their skin, also triggers off more allergies. So most times we get a child who has really severe eczema, which is infected. Yeah.
So what would you advise in that case? Use normal soaps?
I don't advise normal soaps. They need to use soaps that are fragrance-free. There are certain soaps, we call them soap-free soaps, that they can be using.
Soap-free?
Soap-free soaps, yes. They're free of the harsh ingredients in soap, and they're free of fragrances that they can use to wash their children.
Any links to nutrition? Nutrition,
Well, nutrition,
is some
what
big
we usually
deal
do,
these days.
yeah, if some children have grown, we do allergy testing. We recommend doing allergy testing. So we do that at the clinic where we do blood tests to see what they're allergic to. Most people are poorly advised to stop eggs, stop milk, stop this and this without actually confirming that the child is allergic to it. And it affects the child's upbringing. It affects their nutrition. So always I tell them, let the child have a healthy diet until we do the allergy testing to confirm that this is actually causing a problem.
Okay.
Then we can be able to find an alternative, refer them to the nutritionist. Otherwise, we recommend the child to have a healthy diet.
So nutrition not a very strong factor in
It's
eczema.
some children with eczema, it does cause the allergies.
Okay.
Yeah, there are those who react to eggs, that it makes the eczema worse.
Oh, so if there are particular food allergies, they might provoke
We recommend doing the
eczemas.
tests first, yes.
So they require testing.
Yes.
Can those tests be done here in Uganda?
Yeah, we do them at Unity.
Okay.
We do them at Unity. We
Okay,
do
okay.
blood tests and skin patch tests.
And skin tests?
Yes.
All right. So more about skin disorders coming up after the break. I'm with dermatologists. These are doctors who specialize in treatment of skin problems. Dr. Malik from Unity Skin Clinic. If you have any questions, send them on our social media handles on Facebook, on Twitter. Always happy to hear from you. Stay tuned. Don't go away.
You are watching the Doctalk Show.